Hey guys, I just want to do a quick video about the RuneScape Companion App. I guess just sort of a review because I've been using it for the last week and I just wanted to talk about the useful things I found with it and some things I think could possibly do with some improving. So first off, overall, it's been actually pretty good. I haven't used it before. Looking at previous reviews on it, it looks like it had a lot less functionality in the past, so it looks like it's definitely come a long way and been upgraded a fair bit. So if you haven't checked it out recently, it's definitely worth a go doing that. So in the past, the companion app used to be purely web-based, so you would view it through a web browser like Firefox or Google Chrome, for instance. So you could do that on a mobile device, such as a phone or tablet, but it was never its own I guess, unique individual installed application, whereas now you can install it on the device directly. So for Android, you can download it through Google Play, so that's the store for Android apps if you didn't know that. Or for iOS, Apple devices, you can download it through the Apple Store. So this comes with some new features as well. So by installing the actual application onto the device, you get push notifications. So basically, when you buy or sell items in the Grand Exchange, you get alerts on the phone, which is pretty useful because you can see what's going on. So that's going to be useful for merchanters who are using the companion app because they don't have to sit at the computer to buy and sell items. They can be out somewhere on their phone or tablet, for instance, and they'll still be able to do that. So I think it's pretty cool that they've gotten around to making this a fully fledged application that you can download and install. So the web application hasn't actually gone anywhere. It looks like you can still access that through the website. So if you prefer that, then I guess you can go ahead and keep using that as normal. So I guess some of my first thoughts about it were that you can't seem to log into the application at the same time as the game, which I guess makes sense because you're essentially logging in. I wanted to put that in quotes because you're not playing the game, but you are logged in. Your friends can see you as being online during that time, so I guess for all intents and purposes, your account is logged in, and I guess they want to only have that done in one location. So it's not really a big deal, but I guess most people use the mobile device and the companion app when they're away from the computer, so that's fine. I just had a bit of an issue here when I was using it at home because, if I wanted to test it, I'd have to log out of the game, log into the app. I guess maybe some functionality you could use with being logged in, potentially, not too sure. Thinking about it now, maybe not actually. So maybe just forget that. Yeah, I don't know. Have to think about that. Other than that, I found the chat functionalities that the app provided to be really, really good. So you can basically private message people you have on your friends list, add people to your friends list, talk in friends chats, clan chats, see who's logging in and out, that kind of thing. And you're getting messages from that all the time in the app, so that's pretty cool. So, if you're not actually in game and playing, you can still communicate with your friends and your clan and friends chat and all that kind of thing. So that's pretty cool. That you can stay mobile and keep up with what's going on. Something I found a bit weird that there didn't seem to be any notifications for chat messages. So there is the push messages for the Grand Exchange notifications, but you don't seem to get any notifications for if you get private message, for instance. I guess if you're getting a lot of chat, you probably don't want constant messages, but I think it could be a useful potential update to have something like that, maybe just as a toggle in the settings. Like, if you want to have different alerts for different sort of events on the app, then you can go in there and enable those. So if you want that kind of functionality, you can just turn it on, because I think that'd be pretty useful. I was talking to some people and I put the tablet down for a while, had the screen off, and I didn't realize that other people were talking to me and people had replied. So I think if the screen just came up with a little thing saying such and such has said blah, then that could be a useful addition, even if it's just an extra option. When using the Grand Exchange and the bank, I liked it that when you started to type for an item to search, it would start looking it up basically straight away. So, for instance, if I was searching for wand and I just put WA, it would start bringing up all items with WA, including the wand. So, well, that's just a really cool thing to have on the app, specifically because, if you're using it on a mobile device like a tablet or a phone, you're going to be limited to the touchscreen keyboards in most cases, which, if you've used a computer keyboard, you're probably not as fast as typing on. So it's great that there's, I guess, kind of shortcuts like that, so you don't have to put as much effort in order to do what you want, find your items and that kind of thing. I did have a bit of a play around using the Grand Exchange through the app, and yeah, it worked fine. I was buying and selling just random items, nothing in particular, but yeah, that worked pretty well. So if you aren't aware, the Grand Exchange functionality hasn't always been in the application. That's only been put in the last few months, I believe. I'm not sure exactly when, but yeah, it's definitely a welcome addition to it. And just a note on that, before you can use the Grand Exchange in the app, you have to talk to the tutor at Grand Exchange. So he's just towards the south. You just talk to him for a couple of seconds and say, yeah, I want to enable using Grand Exchange for the app. I guess it's just a bit of a security thing, so someone can't randomly log in and sell things through your companion app if you haven't set it up. And also, you can't do it unless you've got Authenticator enabled, which is also good because, it just keeps things more secure. Someone's not going to be able to sell your items through your application unless, they can authenticate as being the owner of the account. So it's pretty good for security, I guess, especially if the device is stolen, that kind of thing. I also noticed that there was the option to save and remember the password in the app, which I guess is convenient because, as I said before, you don't want to be typing a lot of things on the touchscreen keyboard very often. But I don't know, that's not really something I'm going to do, I don't think. I just don't like the idea of saving my password, well, especially my RuneScape password anywhere. I think it's just good practice to not do that, so I'm not going to. I think a potential update that they could do to fix that would be to add the Google Plus or Facebook login. So if you log into the main game, you'll notice there's the Facebook and Google Plus icons, so you can set up basically one-click login there. So what that does is, instead of using your username and password to log in, you open up the client and you just click the Facebook icon or the Google Plus icon, and after a few seconds it'll just log you in because you've linked it to your RuneScape account. You don't have to put in the username and password each time. So I think something like that would be particularly useful for the companion app because you could just touch the screen and away you go. It starts logging you in like that. Especially with Android devices, they're pretty synced up with Google accounts anyway because you need one in order to use it. So I don't think it would be too difficult in order, to implement that and add it in. So that could save a lot of time logging in. Another thing I noticed with Grand Exchange, buying and selling items, it looks like you can only sell items from your bank, not your inventory or items that you're wearing. So I guess that's probably not too big of an issue, but it might be a bit of a problem if you log out and you have some items you wanted to sell and you left them in your inventory and you can't sell them because they're not in the bank. So yeah, it's just a minor thing, not too big of a deal. It might get a little annoying if you forget to do that, I suppose, but yeah, I guess don't forget to do it, and that'll solve that. I like that you can also see the buying and selling history through the app as well, just like you can in game. So if you want to buy more of something you just bought, you can see the transaction history and you can just click that and put in to buy more of that item. So it saves you from having to search for it all over again. So it's pretty useful, time saving. I used it a few times and found it pretty good. Something else I think that they could put in possibly would be forum integration. So I post a fair bit on the RuneScape forums, and it doesn't really work too well loading it up through a browser. So I think it could be cool if it was integrated into the companion app, especially because you're already logging into the companion app and it's got all the functionality of logging in, username, password, authenticator, that kind of deal. So if you just had the forums as possibly just a tab on the side where all the other options are, where you could go in and click, and away you go, it would be pretty good. And well, I suppose they could make it for the application so that it works correctly and looks, renders properly, because if you have ever tried to go to the forums on, say, an iPhone, it doesn't really work it's not really mobile friendly, let's just say that. Like, it does work, but compared to sites and things that are specifically designed with mobile devices in mind, it's a bit more difficult to navigate and get around. So I guess that's about it. Overall, the companion app has been pretty good. Something I'll definitely be using if I want to talk to people when I'm not at home in front of the computer. I don't really do too much Grand Exchange trading myself, so I can't say that I'd really be using it for that. But yeah, other than that, it's pretty good overall. Other than the few things I've pointed out that I think could be updated. I've posted about them on the forums, so hopefully someone sees that feedback, and it looks like some other people have suggested similar things as well, so maybe that is something that can be put into the application in the future and help improve it. I guess we'll find out in time. So, thanks for watching.